Hello and welcome to Shoreline Music Monthly. My name is Mark Koschwitz. This is episode 48 and we're starting to work on some exciting ideas for episode 50. Not really going to say too much about it right now, but just keep your eye on the usual places. Our Facebook page and website will keep you up to date as the plans unfold. This is our first episode in 2018, and we're targeting, looks like March for our 50th episode. A little bit later in the show, you're going to meet Molly Carr and the Solera Quartet, who are going to be on to talk a little bit about a wonderful nonprofit called Project Music Heals Us. They perform outreach concerts, and they fund them by performing in the local churches up and down our shoreline, but we'll talk a little bit about that later. Right now I'm very happy to be joined in the studio by a local singer-songwriter from Guilford. Please welcome to the show Ms. Julie Harris.
Thank you, Mark.
I'm glad you made it. Wonderful to see you.
Thank you.
So I was prowling your website, as I'm often to do, and I noticed that it seems you play sometimes as a duo, sometimes as a trio.
Yes.
And I noticed a familiar name in the duo. I see that you've actually brought him along. We have a former guest, or a former and future guest.
Yes.
Stephen Roane will be here playing with you.
Indeed.
That's wonderful. So you have albums out as the duo and the trio?
Yes. We have, the first one we did was Julie Sings Julie, which is all my original songs. And we had David Childs on piano and Stephen on bass and guitar. And we had a drummer. So that was great. But the second album, I Turn a Corner, is with just Stephen and me. Oh,
true duo?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Julie Sings Julie, was that your first original music CD?
Yes.
Oh, very nice. And so you do a lot of basically jazz singing?
Yes.
Right? And the classics, it seems, like a cabaret style?
Well, we do shows. We do a show about Cole Porter. We do a show about the Gershwin brothers. We do a show about Jimmy McHugh. And then we do our Valentine's Day cabaret, which is called Isn't It Romantic, where we use all the great love songs.
Torch songs?
Yes, wonderful, wonderful. We do Songs for a Summer Night, which is kind of hodgepodge of the great tunes from the songbook, plus a little country and western and some bossa. And
so you run the gamut.
Yes, yes.
So like themed shows then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Very nice.
You made a mistake, breaking my heart in two. And you made a mistake, falling for somebody new. Then she gave you the shove, just like I knew she would do. Now you want my love. Well, here's what I say to you. Baby, you can't have no cake. You made a mistake by breaking my poor old heart in two. And you made a mistake by falling for somebody new. Then she gave you the shove, just like I knew she was gonna do. Now you want my love. Well, here's what I say to you, baby, my sweet baby, pretty little baby. You can't have no cake. When Stephen and I first started, we had a gig at Whitfield's in Guilford, and we just would do, an evening, do 3 sets and just do wonderful songs. But then it kind of evolved into doing these programs for libraries, mainly libraries. And we have performed all over the state, from Litchfield to Norwalk, doing these I shouldn't say educational, that sounds kind of dry, but we're telling a story, but we're setting it to wonderful music.
Nice. So the Valentine's Day one kind of writes itself.
Yes, it's what I call a bittersweet love story. Boy meets girl, boy loses girl. Does boy get the girl back at the end?
So we have to wait and see.
Yes, yeah.
Now, does it change show to show?
What?
Whether he gets the girl.
No.
And then when you when you do a Cole Porter program, it'd be all his music.
Yes, and his life, and he had an amazing life.
Oh, so is there spoken word intermixed?
Oh, sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. So there is some educational. It's just not dry.
But it's fun. I hope.
I'm sure it is. So folks would be able to find out where they could see you?
Mm-hmm. Go to my website.
Okay.
JulieHarrisMusic.com.
Wonderful, wonderful. So the Valentine's Day will be coming. Do you have a slate there? Are we booked through the year, or is he?
Oh, please do. Come to my website and contact me.
All right, we'll look you up.
We still have some openings.
Now, I also noticed that you seem to dip a finger into a few pots. And we were talking, I didn't even see this on the website, but we were just talking earlier. There's a lot of theater.
Yeah, but that's not on the website. But I've been acting since I was in my teens, so. And singing is something relatively new.
So they weren't musicals initially?
Well, the only musical that I did was an original musical at the San Francisco Playhouse called Saddle the Unicorn, and it was about the Garden of Eden, but the premise being that Eve was not the first woman. Lilith was the first woman. Oh. And Lilith was so beloved that God got jealous and came down and kicked her out and brought in Eve, who was a real nasty gal. And we had all these animals in the Garden of Eden, and I played the snake.
Oh my!
But we sang. It was a musical, but that was the only musical I ever did. And
I saw also on there seems to be some novels that have been written.
Yes. I'm a writer. I'm a member of the Guilford Poets Guild. My poems have been published across the country, and I have written 2 novels.
Very nice. Now, the novels, they're in print. We can find them
on Amazon.
Oh, nice. So, and that would be found through your website as well?
No, I don't talk about it on the website.
Okay, but strictly music there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Georgie Porgy, what a guy. You kiss the girls and make them sigh. And when they're begging you to stay, Georgie Porgy, you run away. Georgie Porgy, you're so fine. You got those girls standing in a line. To share your kisses is their goal, but you're the one who's in control. You're the master of the game. Hide and seek is its name. Just when I think you're my very own, I look around and I'm all alone. Georgie Porgy, peekaboo, I've got a brand new game for you. Next time you come out to play, guess who's the one who's gonna run away? You're the master of the game. Hide and seek is its name. Just when I think you're my very own, I look around and I'm all alone. Georgie Porgy, peekaboo, I've got a brand new game in mind for you. Next time you're in the mood to play, guess who's the one who's gonna run away? Georgie Porgy, shame on you. Georgie Porgy, toodaloo.
Mark Koshwitz back with you. I'm very happy now in the studio to have with me a very talented group of musicians, the Solera Quartet. And very cool what they do. They play they'll correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure, a series of musical concerts right along in the beautiful churches on our shoreline to help fund their outreach programs to take music to folks who may not otherwise, maybe not otherwise see it. So I'll let them talk a little more about it. But I'm joined directly to my right is founder and artistic director Molly Carr. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And to her right, I have Tricia Park.
Hi, thank you.
And to my left now, I have Miki Cloud.
Hi.
And we have the gent with the cello next to him, cello. We have Andrew Jans.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks.
And they are all part of Project Music Heals Us.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe Molly, if you could start, maybe just give our folks a little idea on exactly what it is you guys are doing, besides driving up and down the highway in the dark here. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, well, actually, to start, I'd like to give a little background about how the nonprofit Project Music Heals Us came about. About 4 years ago, I shattered a glass bowl into my left hand, and I ended up with little tiny pieces in what is called the second finger for a string player, and exactly the spot that I couldn't play. And so I had about 3 months where I didn't know if I would be able to play my instrument again, and so I decided, well, maybe I should try my hand at some other type of career. And so I decided to take a nursing aid course with the American Red Cross in Hamden, Connecticut. And part of that course was a residency in Arden House in Hamden, and where we had the opportunity to care hands-on for the patients there. During that residency, I fell in love with one of the patients, and upon the final day of the residency, I promised her that if I could play again, I would bring my musical friends back and play for her in her room. And so zoom forward 6 months, Project Music Heals Us had its first concert in her bedroom and zoomed
Very nice.
forward 4 years, and it's now an official nonprofit, and we've played just under 100 free concerts in nursing homes, homeless shelters, hospice care facilities, retirement homes, and most recently prisons. And this group that you see sitting in front of you now is, again, the Solera Quartet, and this is the quartet in residence for Project Music Heals Us.
So in order to help you folks be able to do that, there's a series of concerts on the shoreline.
Exactly, yeah. So 5 times a year for the past, we're in the 4th season now, 5 times a year we bring musicians from all over the world. We've had people as far as Tel Aviv and Berlin and South Africa come and play. And we all congregate in New York and have a good time rehearsing for a couple of days, and then we come out to Connecticut and we perform in the churches in Guilford and Madison. And those, what we call formal concerts, are ticketed events, and all of the ticket sales go towards helping fund these other free concerts that we play elsewhere.
Very nice. And I see February 2nd, Madison, and March 9th in Guilford. And folks would be able to find out about this on, because I was prowling your website, so that seems to be a lot of information on there.
Yep, you just go to projectmusichealsus.com and just go to the schedule page and you should find all you need.
Or the donate page.
Yeah, you can also peruse that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there's actually a way that people could help even if they couldn't get to one of the ticketed shows?
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, good. Very nice. And I saw you have a presence on Facebook as well.
We're trying.
Trying?
Yeah.
I spend too much time on there.
Yeah.
So maybe.
Yeah.
We just actually had a band called Break of Reality. It's a three cello and drum band coming to do the last concert for this series, and they put us out on their Facebook. They have a huge Facebook presence. I think it's 400,000 followers, and so we were able to get a little bit of word out about Project Music Heals Us. And
Very nice. And that's the beautiful thing about social media.
Yeah,
is
a lot of cross.
the connections that can be made.
For that.
Well, I just want to thank you all for doing what you do, because I think that it's a wonderful thing, because music does heal us.
It does, yeah.
Well, thank you all once again for watching Shoreline Music Monthly. We will see you again next month. And remember that you all are the local in the local music scene. So please get out and support your local scene. Thanks. We'll see you next month.
Strange, dear, but true, dear, when I'm close to you, dear, the stars fill the skies, so in love with you am I. Even without you, my arms fold about you. You know, darling, why so in love with you am I. In love with the night, mysterious, the night that you first were there. In love with my joy delirious, when I knew that you could care. So taunt me and hurt me, deceive me, desert me. I'm yours till I die. So in love, so in love. So in love with you, my love, am I. So taunt me and hurt me, deceive me, desert me. I'm yours till I die. So in love, so in love. So in love with you, my love, am I.